back to Louisiana Homestead. Today I want to do a carrot cake for y'all. It's going to have pineapple in it. I'm going to be using the recipe I found out of this old cookbook. It was given to me by my sister's boyfriend, and I am so grateful for it. I've found some really good recipes in here. Some recipes that actually I had been looking for years, and I couldn't find them anywhere, and they turned out to be in this book. The cake that I'm making today is a cake that was made for me and my husband on our wedding day. My sister-in-law and mother-in-law made the cake for us. It was to be my husband's groom cake, and they got together and they made this carrot cake, and it was so moist and delicious, and they told me that it had pineapple in it. Well, I obviously could have just gotten the recipe from them, but I could never find the recipe in any of my cookbooks. So anyhow, the recipe was in this book that was given to me just the other day. At the end of the video, I'm going to post exactly all the ingredients that are in this recipe. I'm going to tell you now what goes into it, and as we go probably as well. But just to make it easier, if you would like to make the recipe at the end, I'm going to have it all written down, and I'll show it at the end of the video. It's going to be written kind of big where you can see it and write it down. You'll be able to like pause on it and just write the ingredients down. Let me show you the ingredients that are going to go into this cake. I guess we'll start in the order that it goes in. We're going to start with 3 cups of flour, and we're going to sift those 3 cups of flour with these other dry ingredients. We're going to be using 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of cinnamon, and 2 teaspoons of soda. So all of those are going to be sifted together. Next, we're going to use 3 eggs, which is from my hens outside, country eggs, yard eggs. We're going to beat those well together with 2 cups of white sugar. Once we have those beat very well, we're going to mix to it these ingredients, which is 2 cups of carrots, not the pecan shell, 2 cups of carrots, a cup of cooking oil, a cup of crushed pineapple, and a teaspoon of vanilla. Once we get these combined with the eggs and the sugar that we have well beaten together, then we'll add our pecans to it. This is a cup of chopped pecans. First, we're going to sift together our dry ingredients. That's our 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, a tablespoon of cinnamon, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So we're just going to sift these through this together. I want to make sure that all the ingredients are combined well before I sift them. Okay, that should be pretty good. Now, as I was saying, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law made this cake as a groom's cake for my husband when he and I got married. That was back in 1997 when we got married. We didn't have a lot of money, and we couldn't afford a big wedding or a big reception. So we got married at a justice of the peace with his mom and dad and sister as our witnesses. While we were getting married, my mom was getting together a wedding reception for us at her house. So we didn't have a big wedding or a big reception, and she made us a red velvet cake as our wedding cake. So we had her making us let me wipe this up, y'all, I'm making a mess. We had her make us a red velvet cake, homemade, for our wedding cake, and my husband's mom and sister made us the groom's cake. So we had 2 nice homemade cakes. They were delicious, and we was very glad to have them. Now we're going to mix up those eggs and that sugar, and we're going to mix them up well, just like the recipe says. Got 2 cups of white granulated sugar. To that, we're going to add our eggs, but I'm going to break my eggs one at a time because these are yard eggs, and I want to make sure I don't have any bad eggs. I shouldn't, but we're going to crack them one at a time here. Look at these beautiful yard eggs from my hens. Aren't they beautiful? A country yard egg has a lot more color to it than a store-bought egg. And the reason is it has, the chickens on the yard, they're eating grass, they're eating just a lot wider range of a variety of their diet. So the stuff they're eating makes a difference in the color of the eggs, actually. This makes a richer, darker yolk. Okay, we're going to mix that now into our sugar. Can y'all see how these are rising up? The air that's beating into them is making them thicker and more frothy. This cake isn't using self-rising flour, and it doesn't call for baking powder either. So we're going to be relying on the baking soda and the eggs to make this cake rise. So we got to beat these eggs up really well, friends. If you like our videos, please hit that thumbs up. That helps to keep our videos going. Let's not forget to get that oven preheating to 350 degrees. All right, we got our oven preheating. So by the time we get everything mixed up, it ought to be good and hot. Another thing that I did to get ready for this cake to go into the oven is I'm using a bundt pan. Let me show it to you. In a bundt pan. So that's what I'm going to do. I oiled the inside of the pan like the recipe says, and I floured it, and I tried to give it a really good coating so that it doesn't stick. When this comes out, I want it to come out easily. Okay, let's get on to the next step. I think these are fluffy enough. So let's go on ahead and add in our oil. 1 cup of oil the recipe calls for. That's going to help to make the cake moist. For a cup of crushed pineapple. I hope my bowl's big enough, guys. And it also calls for a teaspoon of vanilla and 2 cups of carrots. And I think I need a bigger bowl. Way too small of a bowl going here. I had to switch out to a bigger bowl. Now we can add in our carrots, 2 cups of grated carrots. These carrots that I'm using are actually pulp from my juicer when I made juice from my carrots the other day. We got carrots out of the garden. We have a video on that. And then I made a video about juicing the carrots. And now I'm using the pulp from the juiced carrots to make this carrot cake. So, I mean, I'm using that, but y'all can just grate your carrots. It's the same thing. Okay, now we're going to start adding in our flour that we sifted. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to add a little more flour and just keep going like that until I have it all added in. Okay, I think it can handle the rest of it. Making a very nice thick batter. Now we can fold our pecans in. We have a cup of chopped up pecans. These are not toasted, but they are beautiful. That's going to go so well in this. Fold these in. It's going to lightly fold them in. We don't have to make any big mixing motions. We just want them folded in nicely. We don't want them to sink to the bottom of our cake. We're going to go on ahead and we're ready to pour our batter in. This is going to make a big cake. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's give this cake a little shake just to make sure there's no air pockets in it. Let's get it into the oven. Okay, bye-bye. See you in an hour. And I'll see you in an hour too. Let's see if our cake is done. Ooh, it's beautiful. All right, let's try the toothpick. Toothpick's clean. It is completely done. Our cake took exactly 1 hour to cook and it is beautiful. Just some little flowers I picked out of the garden right before I came in here to start baking this cake. I thought they were so pretty. The little spring flowers is just starting. Y'all, let's see if I can flip this cake. I want to do everything I can to make sure that it comes out of the pan easy in one piece. So I think I'm going to pass this butter knife down in there on the edges just to kind of loosen up anything that I can reach that might be stuck. I don't want anything to stick. I want it to be pretty. Y'all cross y'all fingers. Y'all ready? Let me get me another pot holder. Okay, y'all, this is the moment of truth. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I heard it, y'all. It came down. I did hear something. Let's see. I think it's gonna come off easy, y'all. Ah! Yes! It did, it did, it did. It's so pretty. It's just beautiful. I'm gonna make a glaze for it. So let's get started on that. Okay, y'all, get ready for this. The glaze is powdered sugar. We're going to use 2 cups. This holds 2 cups, so let's go on ahead and get that in there. Carrot cake has a little bit of a citrus kick to it with the pineapple in it. I thought it would be nice to do a citrus glaze. So we're going to be using the powdered sugar with a little canned milk and some, get ready for this, Tang instant drink mix. We're going to use a teaspoon or 2 of this to get it flavored nice and citrusy. So we're going to start with a tablespoon of canned milk. And mix that in. And we're just going to keep adding a tablespoon at a time until we get it to the right consistency we want, because it's very easy to put too much liquid into this powdered sugar. Probably going to be very close to enough. We're going to add as a tablespoon in of this Tang instant drink mix. We want it to have a little flavor, a little citrus flavor, and we want it to be liquidy enough to drizzle over the cake. It's just the right consistency. Pretty good. Yes, it does. Okay, y'all, here we go. Oh, we want to cut it. It looks good. Glaze on it. Oh, yeah. All right, y'all. I'm about to call Mr. E in here to come try this cake. See what he's going to think about it. I want to see if he can tell what's in this cake. Okay, Mr. E, you want to taste my cake?
I'll be your guinea pig.
Take your glasses off.
That's what I gotta do to get some?
Yeah. I don't want to have that glare. Okay. Look, what you think? Does it look good?
Well, yeah, it looked good, but that ain't helping me.
Can you tell what kind of cake it is?
Gingerbread.
No.
I don't know.
Okay, here with.
I'm supposed to know what this is?
Yeah.
It smells like carrot cake.
It is carrot cake, but it has other stuff in it. What do you taste?
Orange carrot cake.
Yeah. What part's the orange? The icing or the cake?
I don't know. Last cake you made, you put the icing in it. Well, let me see what the icing is.
Can you, the icing, okay, go ahead.
I can't tell. It's all good. You want me to save you some?
It's tang.
You got it.
It's tang that's in the icing.
Tang?
That's what's flavoring it.
Where you got that idea?
I just made it up.
Can you make this up?
What?
Can you make some of that praline pound cake on Mondays?
Yeah.
Make this on Wednesdays, and
Yeah.
then on Friday you can make like 2 cherry pies. Or if you can't do that, you make a praline cake and this, and that'll carry us through. You see?
Yeah.
And then we can tell Lil Debbie and all them, tell Lil Debbie and all them bye, because you could be making all this. This is good, y'all. Y'all better get some of this. Tang. You tell them people how you do that with tang.
They seen it already. Good. I bet you don't remember, but
You saying I can't remember nothing?
your mother and sister made us a cake similar to this for our wedding for your groom cake.
They had tang?
No, they didn't put tang.
What they use?
They use cream cheese icing.
I'll take that too.
Okay, let's tell them bye. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. She won't let me wear my glasses.
I'm taking the cake.